we draw a raffle number, we're going to just use a random number generator. So I know we've sold at this point 87 tickets. And it looks like the best way to determine who wins the raffle is to go into revenue, reports, raffle tickets. Oops.
We actually have one that's called raffle entries under the raffle report. So we have, that's the easier one. You can sort it. We have a volunteer here, I think. So let me just let them in.
Oh, perfect. Oh, I see. And all the entries are numbered.
Yes.
Perfect. Perfect.
And you can sort that little arrow above that column. You can sort so that the numbers are in ascending or descending order. And then you can put those numbers. If you have your first entry number is 1 and the last one is 87, then you can put that number, those numbers ranges in 1 through 87, low, then high, and then it'll generate a number for you.
That's so easy. I thought I was going to have to pull a report and kind of massage a Excel file a little bit, but this will be
no, that one should give you everything you need. We, I know in the past have used or suggested something like random.org. Where you put in your lowest number, your highest number, and then it'll generate a number, and then you compare that number against that list, and that'll tell you who your winner is.
Wonderful.
Joan, welcome. Just waiting on potentially a few more volunteers, but in the meantime, we're just answering organization questions.
Great. And Lynn?
Yes, Lynn. Yes. Oh, sorry, I'm Lynn. I don't think I said.
Yeah. I did my first package yesterday, Lynn.
Hey, how'd it go, Ethel?
Super easy. Super easy. Deleted the other number. But you do have to make a new number for it. But I kind of wanted to use one of the existing numbers. So I had to change a number and then go back and change and put it in my old number. That is true.
Yes. So, you can't reuse a number that's already in use. You have to revise the other one and change it. Yes.
So that was super easy. So I'm just going to do a couple more, of those.
Awesome.
In the auction.
Yeah. And just so you know how it will look when you're looking at items.
Yeah.
If you look at packages, like the other components of the package look like they're grayed out. But if you click on it, it'll show you the two images here. And then show you that it's a package. So
yes,
I always like to show people how it looks on the screen because they're like, oh, how come these look like they're grayed out? It just shows you that these items are all a part of this main one.
Okay. Sounds great. Yeah.
What a good combo. Ice cream and ukulele night.
Yeah, ukulele. Yeah, it's a family night,
I love it.
And that's actually us, Tara. But we covered our faces.
Oh, I recognize you. I recognize Paul, and then I saw you.
It had to be the ROW hat and the ice cream, right? So I thought that would be fun. Yeah. So that's.
I love it.
That's all set.
Love it. Okay. You just let me know when we want to get
all of us, because it is 8:20.
Okay.
And Joan was the one volunteer that I was actually expecting.
All right. Awesome. Okay, so let's get started. I'm going to go back to the main page and officially we'll walk through what happens the night of. Joan, if you have any questions, please don't hesitate to ask. I generally will pause in between to see if anyone has questions, but definitely more of a feel free to ask anything that comes up. When you are logged in, so the organization between Tara, between Ethel, they should be giving you access if they have not already. So you would be signed up as a user and then given access as a volunteer. So if you have questions about that, team, we can talk about that. But everyone should have their unique login. When you do, you will be able to use any device, go and log into the e.givesmart.com because you should have a username and password to sign in. Once you are here, you will then have access to toggle between the live site or the guest-facing site, or I would say the front end versus back end, by clicking on the purple button View Site. If you're on this main page or any one of these tabs, you can see that you'll have the option for View Admin, and that brings you to the back end, where this is how you're going to check in the guests night of. The screen setup might look a little bit different depending on what kind of device you are on. If it's an iPhone compared to a desktop, compared to an iPad, something like that. I am on my laptop and I have a big screen behind me. So the layout might look a little different, but what is going to be the method for check-in is on the left-hand navigation, you're going to see the tab for users. You're going to click on users and that will expand to the settings, details, check-in and check-out. Really, as a volunteer, the only potential ones you might need to know about are details, check-in and check-out. So sorry. You'll notice that if I click on check-in from this page, it actually allows me to toggle between the details, check-in and check-out screen. So I can easily take a look at either of these other two sections. But as you're just getting started, you're welcoming people to the event. Hi, welcome to the event. Can I have your name, please? And if all you hear is the person's first name, no worries, just type in the first name. And if someone else's name matches, excuse me, one second. Sorry about that. If the name matches, that could be your cue then to say, oh, what was that last name again? And then you can hear them clearly. Oh, Lynn Simon, yes. So you're going to check in your guest one at a time, click on select. And at this point, I would say the one main thing you'd want to verify is if you have the correct mobile number for this person. This is because this is a primary way how the system will interact with this guest the night of when they are bidding, if they get outbid, if you're sending out text message notifications. This is how we want to make sure there's a cell phone there so that the system can actually send out that message. Now, Tara, can you remind me for bidder numbers, are those going to be pre-assigned or assigned at the door?
Yeah, we'll be able to assign those. So one less task for Joan. As soon as we have the seating chart ready, the paddles will be associated to tables. So we'll also associate the bidder number.
Got it. So you shouldn't have to worry about populating a number here, Joan. The number will already be visible to you. So at that point, you don't need to enter anything. You'll see it already pre-populated. Then we click on continue, and then this brings us to our next screen. If someone does not have a credit card on file, this is what we're going to see. Card on file, no card on file. If there is a card on file, you'll see this symbol here right underneath where it says card on file. So then they're all good. If you need to add a credit card, you can just click on this drop down here or the link, sorry, and then it opens up to the credit card screen. Now, if someone says, oh, I forgot my credit card in the car, or, oh, can I bring this to you in a moment? The answer is yes, you can, because you can bypass this portion and go right into complete check-in. If someone already has their card on file, you can go in and bypass and go right to complete check-in. You're not using devices, are you? The swipers? Did you rent that equipment?
No.
Okay. No worries. I always like to talk about it because if you did, you'll see a fourth box here, but we don't need to worry about that.
Gotcha.
And then I click on complete check-in. And here, this I like to say is my exit script. So at this point, great, Lynn, thank you so much. A link to the campaign will be texted to you momentarily. And most of the time, before you even finish that sentence, they've already received that text message. You'll be able to see that bidder number right here, close, and now you can go ahead and check in the next guest. And that's really it as far as the check-in.
And just to interject here, we will be encouraging guests to pre-register or pre-check in. And Lynn, am I correct? In that case, many of them will have a credit card on file because
That
they've
is the
checked
hope,
in.
especially if you've made it required that a credit card needs to be added upon pre-check.
Oh, I don't
No,
know
we
if I have.
didn't.
Is that in settings?
Yeah, we can look at that in settings. Hi, Kim, welcome. Thanks for joining.
Hi, thanks for having
Hey,
me.
good morning,
Sorry
Kim.
for starting.
Yeah, no worries. So
Hey,
we'll
Kim.
double check that in the settings just to make sure, but otherwise everything is straightforward. Kim, just to catch you up on what we've covered, you will be given access as a volunteer for this evening. And when you do, you are going to click on the link that's provided or go to e.givesmart.com and then put in your username and password. That will bring you to the page that we're looking at now. You're going to click on the users tab on the left-hand side, and this is where you're going to be able to type in the guest's name. So if I am checking people in one at a time, let's say Lynn Simon comes back because that credit card she had forgotten and now she wants me to add it. I can just type in the person's name again, or let's say I checked in the wrong Lynn accidentally. Click on search. It actually provides a timestamp of the when you were checked in and then who checked me in. If I click on select, I can always undo check-in from here, and I can always add a credit card as well. So it makes it super easy if I have to go back and make a modification to something. Once I'm done, I'm back to this main screen. The other piece sometimes you'll notice is that someone might be associated with a party. So you can search for guests by who they are with, or the system, if someone did not provide guest names, the system will put them down as the name unassigned guest. So if you type in the letters UNA, short for unassigned, you'll be able to see a list of all of the unassigned tickets. So in this case, if someone says, oh yes, I'm with the Catherine Roca party, you're able to then say, oh, okay, great, no worries, let me get you checked in, but you don't have a name. Now, it doesn't matter which one of these you click to be able to assign the ticket, so long as you make sure it's the same party name. Click on select, and then you're going to ask them for their name, cell phone number, and email address. And then click on continue, and then you will continue the regular way for the check-in. So this is just a way if you don't have guest names up front, though the organization does also have the ability to send out those reminders via communications as well for the ticket purchasers to add in their guest names.
Mhm.
Any questions so far about the check-in process?
Now, is that checking them in like they've arrived to our event? That's the check-in that we're talking about, not checking in, purchasing anything yet.
Correct, yes.
Okay, got it. Okay, cool.
Now, if
Will
someone
you-
is, oh, go ahead, Joan, sorry.
Will you have like iPads there to use? We don't need to bring anything, right?
Yeah, we'll have a couple of laptops there.
Okay. I will be
Wonderful.
bringing my reading glasses.
Yes, please. And we'll make sure that the area is well lit, because last year it was super dark. Dark and no reading glasses and
And
volunteers
also
with
think
my
about
age.
being next to an outlet as well, in case you
Yeah.
need to charge the laptops. The
Mhm.
batteries don't last as long as they used to, so being able
Sure,
to plug in.
Yeah, that was one of
helpful.
the venue walkthrough items that was first on the list. Where's registration? Where's the outlets?
Yeah, for
What's
sure.
the Wi-Fi signal like here?
For sure. And also, if you might already do this, but it's always a nice thing to have if you have some extra chargers in case people need to charge their devices. And think about the different connections based on their phone type. So there are at least 2 different kinds out there for iPhones, and then one for like an Android. So if you have several different options, that's people I know always appreciate that. All right. We do have a help article, so I will put that in the chat again just for everyone here, though I think we've already talked about this, but always doesn't hurt to add it more than once. The volunteer reference guide. And this is just a little cheat sheet. So if anyone is like, oh my gosh, I forgot how to do something, this little card will be something that you can have available right next to you. It just reminds you on how to check a guest in case you get stuck. So I'll put that in the chat. Now, once someone is checked in, that's it. They get their text message, and then they will end up, if I click now on the view site, so you can see that experience, they will end up on your items page. And from here, these 2 tabs, my info and the pay tab, are really guest specific. So if I, the guest, click on my info, I'm able to see that I've checked in. If you are allowing people to check in ahead of time, they should be able to open up the link, click on my info, and then also show you this tab, or you can still look up their name and say, yep, you're all set, thank you. They'll also be able to see their bidder number. Once you assign them to a table, they will also be able to see their table number. If they are purchasing raffle entries and you booked it or are selling it through the raffle entry item type, they will also see all of their raffle entry numbers here as well. And they also have the ability to add their own credit card on file at any time. From the pay tab,
Kim
you're
and
able.
Joan, they'll have 2 sort of nudges to get this done and check in and add a credit card. One is when we open the silent auction early on Wednesday before the event, and then 2 is when the nudge goes out, hey, check in ahead of time for a seamless, I think I say, hello and welcome at check-in. So hopefully you'll have a lot of folks where you put their name in and they're just done. And you're like, welcome, and you press guest checked in.
That would be great. Are those pre-scheduled notifications, Tara, or do we have to push out those notifications?
They're pre-scheduled, so yeah, auction will go out on Wednesday, like mid-morning when the auction itself opens. And then I think the email, I can't remember when I scheduled the email, probably Thursday, the day before the event. It's kind of like need to know before you arrive.
Nice.
So it gives them a
Just
couple.
remember, emails you can't pre-schedule to go out. You can save it as a draft and you push that one out. But yes, you can.
Thank you,
Yeah.
Lynn. Yes, I
Yeah,
better put that
just
on my
as a-
calendar right now.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes.
But the live auction goes live on Wednesday. Yeah, that's already.
That is set.
pre-scheduled.
Yep, everything will open up as it should there. And once someone starts making purchases, they'll be able to click on this pay tab and they'll be able to see a breakdown and then send a link to themselves with that statement. So that way they can see all of their charges. Okay. So from this back end, so where we just were was the homepage or the guest facing side. You have the ability, Kim, to toggle between those two views. View admin is the back end, view site is the front end. If someone comes to you and they say, oh, I'm not getting any text messages, one thing you can check from the users tab is go to details. And if from details you see a symbol that looks like this little SMS with the circle around it, it means someone has opted out of texting. So if that's the case, if you look up their name, then you are able to say, oh, not a problem. If you just text in our keyword, text ROW Gala 2025 to 76278, that will get them to opt back in to receive messages. So you could, if you want, Tara, Ethel, just have this like printed on a little card, just as a reminder. If someone says they're not receiving messages, check under users and details and see if they have that little SMS symbol. And then you can have this printed so you don't always have to look it up. You can just have, oh, text ROW Gala 2025 to 76278.
Great.
Okay.
I'll also print that volunteer reference guide and have a couple of those on the table. So you won't need to look it up. It'll be right there, hard copy, IRL for your reference.
Yeah. All right, so everything then on this side is done for now. Then everyone will shift over to the night of assistance, which you may or may not necessarily be doing. You can let me know, Tara, do we want to walk through how you can assist a guest with bidding, placing a donation?
Yes,
feel good
please,
with that?
because these, as much as we try to have it be guest, self-serve, folks walk up to the silent auction and they have no idea how to bid and they'll ask you, where are the bid sheets?
Yeah.
So someone's going to get asked this, and if my registration volunteers know, it'll help out. That's the
Of
number one
course.
question. How do I bid on an item? Or maybe how do I buy a raffle ticket?
I've also seen at some events where there's a little iPad there and we have a link to a video that says Give Smart how to bid. And they will actually have that so that guests can just click on it and watch the short little video. So it also helps them and see it visually walking through the steps. You can also create that as an ad and then have it live within your items page. So if someone doesn't really feel confident they can do that, in your pre-communication message, it's also a good idea maybe to put that video link in there as well. So if we go to the help article, how to bid, it's a link through Vimeo, so you can click this link and I'll put it in our chat.
Okay.
And it's just a quick, like under 2 minutes, and it'll walk people through how they can go ahead and use the system. So if you're new to Give Smart, or if this is your first time at our event, please watch this, and I would probably say this quick, short video on how to bid. If I click on items now, this is going to bring me to what the guest sees. But keep in mind, as a volunteer, you're going to be able to see this page in 2 ways. When you are in the admin view, so the upper right-hand corner, when this admin button is purple, it means you're viewing it with elevated access. You'll see things like new item, new package, manage items, where you're able to create things on the fly. But if I toggle it to donor view, those go away and the view changes slightly. So the guest will never be able to see this in the exact way that you can. They can't delete their own bids. There's a lot of things they cannot do, but you can do as an admin. So if someone says, oh yeah, I was wanting to buy a raffle and I'm having trouble. Oh, great, let me help you. You would find the item. You can search for the item by name. You can search for it by the number itself, the item number, or you can click on categories and you have the ability to sort based on make a donation, raffle, auction items, items with no bids, or by these categories. This the guest will also be able to see, but you're just going to click on the item. So anywhere on this item page or button, and here you're going to see all of the associated images, the description, same as the guest would, because I'm in the guest view right now. Here they would just click on the button for yes, 1 for $25 or 5 tickets for $100. You can either click one of the buttons or put down the quantity that they want to purchase. As an admin, if I switch to the admin view, so if I were to do this right now, if I'm not logged in, it would prompt me to make sure that I am signed in. But if I click on the admin view, you can see now I have the ability as an admin to bid or make a donation on behalf of any guest. So I get to see these name fields. When someone is logged in, they don't have to put in their own name because they're already signed in. That's the beauty of creating the username and password. They're already logged in to the GiveSmart side under their own account. But you can then go ahead and start typing in the person's name or by bidder number, and it'll populate and say, oh, do you mean this person? Yep, I sure do. And it'll pre-populate the rest of their details where I can then click on 1 for $25 or 5 for $100. Click on buy, and then that's set. In the item history, I'll then see all of the people that have made purchases. And you'll notice as an admin, I'm able to see this red word delete. So if someone accidentally purchased say 2, or you clicked on something and you thought it was only purchasing 1, but you accidentally did 2, you can go in and delete it. Now, toggling back to the donor view, if I click on item history, there's no red word delete. So I, as a guest, can never delete a bid or remove a raffle item purchase that I've added. Any questions about being able to assist a guest with, say, purchasing a raffle ticket? Okay, awesome.
I'm just going to
we
walk
click-
through that for myself. And
Oh, go ahead,
so
Tara.
if someone walks up to the registration table, hey, I heard that you could help me buy a raffle ticket. You don't need to look the user up. You just need to go to the auction in admin mode. And then you
Correct.
select the raffle, which is item 100, and you scroll down and you can input that user's name. Now, Lynn, if that user has a credit card on file, it's going to pre-populate, right?
Yes, so this will be, and it depends on the settings that you have. If they already have a credit card on file, when you have a raffle item, instant item, you have the ability to say this is needing to be paid immediately. So it's immediate checkout, or it can be added to cart. So if it's an add to cart situation, they won't have to pay. You won't see the pop-up screen for the credit card right now. If you are bidding on behalf of someone and they don't have a credit card on file, a credit card screen will pop up. You as an admin have the ability to bypass that, but at that point, I'd probably say to the person, oh, it doesn't look like you have a credit card on file. And what I would do in that moment is just let them know, hey, you know what? If you click on the My Info tab, you can actually add your card on file right now. That way you're not at the registration area, so you might not be thinking, oh, let me help and take your credit card, right? You can just empower the person to add their own card on file if for some reason it wasn't added. By this point, it hopefully should be added. And if we look back at the settings, which we'll do by the end of the call, to make sure that before anyone can place a bid or make a purchase, that credit card is required, then that will make sure that no one leaves there without their card already being secured. You have a question, Ethel?
No, you
Oh,
said
okay.
okay. Right.
All right. So the other items that you have, this would say something like no bids. If we have some silent auction items, once this site goes live, this should say silent item. And here you can see the screen looks a little bit different. I'm still in admin view because I can see the first name fields and I can edit items. Again, a guest would not be able to see that. So if I'm here, I am able to select, oh yes, let me help you by clicking on bid. That would then give me the ability to add in that bid. So because your site's not live, you want me to select this as an example to walk through it, I can delete it. Okay.
Sure, yeah.
I'm going to click on bid. Now I'll show you what it looks like from the donor view. Let's say I forgot to toggle off and I'm here. I go to click on bid. I immediately get this pop-up that says, oh, hey, don't forget, you need to switch to admin view because the system doesn't know who I'm bidding for. So then you toggle to admin view, or you could have clicked that button that says, yes, switch to admin view. And then I'm back to this state. And where now I can put in the guest name, or I can put in their bidder number. Again, you want to make sure that the name is correct. Sorry, this is like, it just remembers my name, so it blocks what we're seeing here. But if I click on it, just verify that this is the correct contact. If it is, I can go ahead and click on bid. Now, I'll do that in a second, but if you'll notice this auto bid feature, let's say I'm looking at this item and I'm willing to pay up to $300. I can set an auto bid, meaning that the system will continuously bid on my behalf without me having to always go back and forth. So this is very helpful so that I don't have to necessarily be glued to my phone. If I am outbid, then I will receive a notification saying I've been outbid at my $300. Do I want to place another bid? So if you are assisting a guest and you see this auto bid function, maybe you want to ask them, oh, would you like me to place an auto bid? I don't know what that is. Oh, the system will just bid on your behalf. So this also allows you to maybe stay within budget. You know that you want this item, but you don't want to spend over a certain dollar amount, right? So those are the best ways you can explain auto bids. But if I click on place bid, I'm just going to select now bid. And if I don't have a credit card on file, this is the window that is going to pop up. You as an admin, as a volunteer, can skip this, or you can add the card on file right now. Skip for now. And if I'm winning, you can see that little banner that now changes to say I'm winning. And if I click on this pink My Activity button, I can actually see all of my activity. If I'm bidding on something and losing, if I'm bidding and winning, if I have starred, so at the next to each item name, we have the ability to see this little gold star. It means that these are all the items that I want to keep my eye on, right? So thinking about it as saving it to your favorites. Now, if I go under the item history, let's say I put it under the wrong LIN, or let's say in this case, I want to delete it. I can click on the red word delete. I'll also see the next bid dollar amount based on the bid increments, but I also want to show you, if I go back to the list before I delete it and click on that pay tab, you can see pending my yoga gift certificate for 110. So this is nice, so someone can just keep track of what it is that they're potentially bidding on. I can go back to items, click on the item, and then click under item history, and then just delete this. Then I'll get a message that pops up and says, oh, do you want to send a cancellation to the person you're removing and also the winner or the person that will now be winning this item? So I could say yes or no. And then this will prompt me, no automated messages were sent, consider sending a custom message. So then it will bring me back here. I'm getting this pop-up now just because the site is not yet live. So if someone comes to this page, this is what it'll look like. But come Wednesday, it'll bring me back to the main page. Any questions so far? Sorry, just let me go back in because it switched it to my demo site. So let me go back.
Just to run a couple scenarios, Kim and Joan, folks probably will ask, can you help me buy a raffle ticket? Raffle tickets the settings are instant pay, so they do need to have a credit card on file to buy a raffle ticket because they're buying a chance at a contest. They need to pay for that right away. If they need help with bidding on an item and they haven't put a credit card in the system, don't feel that you could bypass that. You could just sort of make it easy for them, place the bid, and they can deal with credit card at checkout. Or frankly, we are always kind of chasing some folks down the week after the event. So if you can just help them place the bid and feel like they're having fun and on the action, you don't need to take that extra time, especially if you're busy and there's a couple people that need your help dealing with the credit card for an auction item.
So you'll see now this is back to no bids, and it's back to its starting bid price at 110. So super easy to just add things, remove things. And again, if someone wants to search for items based on categories, I can filter this a lot faster, or if they give me the item number. The other piece you have the ability to assist a guest with night of is making a donation. We have this very clear call out button that says click to donate. If I were to do that, I can put in the person's name. So one more time, I can put in Lynn Simon, see my name, populate, and then put down the dollar amount that I want to donate. Now it'll say, thank you. This has been added to your cart. If I go to the pay tab, because this is a donation, I automatically now see this link to pay. So at the end of the night, when this auction closes and anyone that's looking at this now will see the link so that they can click to make their payment. Once someone makes a payment, you will see what looks like a big red paid stamp across the top here. But we'll talk about checking out now. But any questions about assisting a guest for check-in or with bidding?
And as I recall, Kim, Joan, both of you are going to be on checkout. So now we're getting into the meat of what you're going to be doing. But you're experts in the system for check-in. So next year I got you at check-in.
But it's good to know, because if there's an influx of people and they need to have someone help, now you already know what to do. And it's pretty straightforward, right? It's just make your way to check-in and then make your way to checkout. So from the same place, users, where we started with check-in, is where we're going to go for checkout. And it's the same exact process. You're going to search for the guest by name. So I'm going to put in here Lynn Simon, and I'm going to see that I have my balance. If I click on begin checkout, this will now show me where I can go ahead and click to make that payment. And I can pay via the credit card I have on file. If I have a card on file, it will show here with my name underneath this icon with the expiration date of the card. I could also do a split form of payment if I want to. So if a guest spent more than they anticipated and they need to break this up in 2 payments, you can actually click edit here and then modify how much you're going to charge in this first checkout. So I can make this for only $5 if I want to, and then choose the form of payment. So I can select cash and then select yes, pay. If I'm doing that split payment, it'll say, okay, great, this amount has been processed. The remaining balance is this. And then I would simply go back to the checkout screen and then go ahead and complete the checkout. I'll just type in the person's name again, click begin checkout, and then go ahead and pay off the remaining balance. Now, if I'm with someone, my spouse, or if I'm with a family member or a very close friend, and I want to pay for their balance, you can click on select additional guest, put in their name, search, and it'll roll up those 2 balances into this one account. So I can go ahead and make a payment for someone else if I want to. Otherwise, if I come to you and say, oh no, I accidentally made this donation, I didn't mean to, or it was added twice, or maybe this was supposed to be for $100. When you see something here that's blue, it means it's something that's actionable. So I can actually return it right from this point. So I don't need to go in and delete it. But if for donations, you want to delete an item, I'll show you how to do that. I'm going to go to view site again. And this time I'm going to click on the donate tab. Here is where I will see all of the items. And one thing the guest will not be able to see are all these tiles. These are all of the individuals that have made a donation sorted in alpha order. So I can click on the tile and also delete the donation from right here. And I can send a cancellation message or not. Yes, delete, done. So a couple of different ways.
And that may happen. Because during the paddle raise, every once in a while we get the wrong number recorded. And so someone makes $1,000 paddle raise and we put in number 57 instead of number 67. And someone comes to check out and they're like, I didn't make $1,000 donation. Yeah. Just always believe them and just delete the donation. We do make a mistake or two every year.
You don't want me to try to talk them into it?
Oh, I would say yes, of course, Joan. Like that's a no-brainer, right? Oh, you might not have meant to do it at that
Well,
time. But how do you
really?
feel about it now?
Yeah. Clearly, I have the right people at checkout.
Yeah. Tara, will anyone here be helping with recording the paddle raises? Do you want to go over that, or is that going to be just for you
Yes,
guys?
Ethel will probably do
Yeah.
that. There's going to be a little window after the paddle raise and before checkout opens when we're going to be furiously entering all the paddle raises.
I'm gonna
That'll be
switch to
me.
my demo site so we can walk through since I already have it set up. You didn't have them set up yet, right?
No,
Well,
not yet.
all those donate items are the paddle levels.
Oh, they
So
are. Okay.
it does make it easy. Like if someone raises their paddle at 1,000, someone just clicks camp scholarship. Yep.
Oh, I see. Sorry. I don't know what I thought that was. But yeah, they're here. Awesome. So when you have someone making donations, I don't know if I shared this article with you on the last call. I'll share it again just in case. We do have the somewhere. It's one of these help article topics. Okay, donation appeal methods. I think it would be in this one. Here. So here we have a sample donation script, which is always nice, but this is where you can record if you want the live appeal audit form. We have this one already created, so you can put down your dollar amounts and then everyone that bids
So sweet.
and then put down their paddle number. So any volunteer that's helping can have this with them. And then you'll, at the end of the live appeal, combine all of these. So someone will do like one master copy and then make sure that you have everyone accounted for.
Yeah.
So when it comes to entering who the winners are, let's say, okay, we're entering everything right now in the back. We're trying to get it done as quickly as possible. You can enter them one by one, right? You can put in the guest name and all that. By this point of the night, you should know everyone's bidder number. So the auctioneer will call off, okay, thank you, bidder number. And it's always recommended. What are your bidder numbers starting at, Tara?
I think 1.
Okay. So
I can't
if
remember.
you're
We're going to pull
doing,
them out tomorrow.
Working on that.
Got it. If you didn't assign them yet, what I used to do is I would start the bidder numbers at 100 and I would ask the
Okay.
auctioneer to say the numbers one by one. Thank you, bidder number 100271. It still keeps a
I got
fast
it.
enough pace, but
Got it.
because there's 3 digits and you're asking them to pronounce each one, it's going to be a little bit easier for the volunteer to hear and write them down, as opposed to thank you, bidder number 4, 7, 9, 12. You know, it's much more.
Yeah, you're
like-
right. I think they do start at 100. And
Okay.
we have a very practiced MC. So she knows,
Perfect.
you know, there's the very distinct call and a little bit of a pause. So it should be easier to record them.
Yeah, love it. So when you're adding them, if you only had one person that donated at this level, great, put in their bidder number and then click on donate. If you have 5, 6, multiple people, you can click on this tab for multiple, which allows you to enter the bidder number and click on donate. Next person, bidder number, donate, bidder number, donate. So this allows you to do a quick entry for everyone that donated at this level. Once you've added everyone at the $2,500 level, then you can click on the $1,000 level. And depending on how many people you have here, click multiple, enter their bidder number, and then click donate. So bidder number, donate, bidder number, donate. It's just nice quick entry so you can get through this.
Okay. Hey,
Amazing.
Lynn,
Yeah.
where do you get that, the bid sheet that you showed us there with the bidder number? It's all in one sheet. that
Oh,
you
I'll send
showed
it to you
me?
at the end of this call recording.
Okay.
I also put it in the
Okay.
chat, but it's in one of our help
Perfect.
articles.
Okay.
And it is called
The donation appeal methods.
methods.
Okay. Yeah, got it.
I'll send you this whole article as well.
Okay, got it. Thank you.
Of course, and not that your person needs a script, but we do have the donation script This will also show that you can feature a donation display. So this has also a link to donation displays. As people are donating and you enter them, they can show up on a list that you can have up on your big screen.
No big screen this year.
Okay, then you don't even have to worry about it. All right, any questions about assisting people with entering their numbers
Okay.
or their bids, I should say? Okay, then that's generally it as far as everything for volunteers that we cover.
One thing to add with checkout.
Yes.
Auction items. So if someone is the winner of an item, they'll get a notification and it will automatically get added to their checkout tally, right? So when someone comes to the table and says, I'm ready for my item, and you look them up, you'll see that item and maybe a few other items that they need to check out with. We'll have additional volunteers. I think I have 4 people as auction runners. So they'll be sort of cycling between either the auction or the green room, wherever we put the items at the end of the night, and the registration table. And you can send them. You can just say, please go get the bicycle sculpture for Ms. Simon. And they'll go get the item and bring it back. So you don't need to deal with that. You'll have partners with that. And Lynn, the item will only show up on someone's tally if they won the item, right?
Correct. Yes.
So that's
if they
like
were the highest
proof
bidder.
that
Yeah.
they were the highest bidder. So you don't need to ask them to show their screen. Like, can you please show me the message that you got? Like, if it shows up on their bill that they won the item. So
Yep.
it should be pretty seamless there. The other things folks are checking out with are donations, and they can be quite large donations from the paddle raise. Sometimes people get excited and they donate night of, and they haven't really thought about how they want to pay that donation. So please be flexible with them. Anything works. If someone's got $1,000 donation and they really don't want to put it on their credit card, they can write a check. Or if they forgot their checkbook, they can do a pledge, right? We know who all our guests are.
And
So
there
if they're like,
is
I'd really like to do this out of my, donor advised fund or blah, 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 blah.
Yeah.
You can just press the pledge button and then we see it next week, the week after the event, and we know we've got to follow up with some people. So you can just get them out the door without a big hassle, give them a big thank you and a handshake, and we know how to find them.
100%. And in that pledge button, so you'll see cash, credit card, check. There is that button for pledge. There is also a note field when that pledge opens up. So if, for example, they want to pay via donor advised funds, or if they say DAF, put that in the notes. That way the staff knows exactly what they've relayed to you. So that's definitely a helpful item.
Mhm.
And sometimes too, if someone's paying a large amount of money, it might be better with a check so that, maybe they say, oh no, I'm not going to pay the credit card fees, right? You don't want to absorb those costs. So checks sometimes might be a good way to go as well.
Mhm.
Excellent. Good call out there. Any other questions or review items?
I know that we need to get our volunteers in the system as users. And Ethel, it doesn't look like you've put, for example, Kim or Joan, you haven't
Right.
sold them a ticket yet, right? Is that right?
I
'Cause when I
thought Kim was
searched-
in there.
Oh, maybe
got
yes, Kim is in there as a planning
got a
committee member.
text
Joan, are
from-
you in there? Oh,
Let's take
great.
a look. If we go to view admin, we can go to users
I
and
get that.
details.
Yeah, thanks, Lynn. If you can just walk me through, because I was just trying to search them and I was getting
Yeah.
stuck. And
Joan,
then Ethel will know how, because we need to give you volunteer privileges. You don't currently have them.
Okay.
Yeah, so from users and then details, I can see anyone that's signed up. So if I click on Joan's name, for example, she's listed as a user. I can elevate her status right now just by clicking
can
the role
change
and
that?
saying
Okay.
volunteer. Do you want me
All
to do that now while I'm here?
Yes, please.
Sure.
And then Ethel, you'll follow through with all the others.
the other. Yeah.
And a volunteer does have admin access to all of the back end stuff that we were looking at today.
Yes, everything
Is
we're
that
looking
correct,
at today.
Lynn? Perfect.
So from this section, if you need to add a new user, you can also do that from users, details, and then click create user, and then put in the person's first, last name, cell phone, email, and then define their user role here and put them as volunteer.
Mhm.
which will then send them the confirmation. You also will have the volunteer training video. So as a recap to volunteers, you can actually just share with them this full video, just over 13 minutes, but it has the minute marker like, oh, how do I assist a guest with bidding? So those are really helpful. So I'll just put this in our
Okay.
chat again. I feel like we talked about it, but it doesn't hurt to resend any of these things. And that's it. Any questions that come up for anyone, any scenarios that you can think about that you want to talk through while we're all here?
Let me just check real quick, because I had some notes. That's it.
Excellent.
Lynn, I do have a quick question about comms, but maybe we should release our guests and then I put some of the pre-programmed communications in, and I was hoping that you could confirm I had the right links in there.
Got it. Yes. All right. So Joan, Kim, thank you so very much for joining, and thank you ahead of time for helping the organization. And as they say, let the good times
Joan
roll.
and Kim. Bye.
Thanks. Thanks,
Bye.
guys. See you soon.
See you next week.
Bye.
Yeah.
All right. So let's go to comms and let's look at email. For nothing drafted in email yet. So you didn't draft this yet, right?
What? I did.
I thought you did. Yeah, I saw. Yeah, I have a question about that. The email that went
Oh,
out.
here, this one.
That's the one. Yeah,
Did I send an
Okay.
email?
You
I
sent
got
this.
I got it.
Oh, for God's sake. How did
So
that
this
happen?
is-
Well, I sent it, hold on, I sent it to myself and you, that's why. I did
Yeah.
exactly what you suggested and I haven't created a new draft. Okay, phew.
Okay. All right.
Wonderful.
But just to
Yeah,
you and me.
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, so you're good there. Just click on send and then you can copy the details.
Yes, and
here.
then I'll recreate this.
Yeah, but
What I'm
otherwise,
trying to do here is prompt folks to check in early.
yes. for
So
additional
when-
details, okay. Yep, links are good here. Just double checking that.
Okay.
Sorry, you were saying when?
Oh, yeah, basically I'm just trying to prompt them to get as much done as possible because in the past, the main things we're answering are, well, one, there's always a bottleneck at check-in. And it really helps if folks have pre-checked in and they've already added a credit card. So I'm trying to get them to do that. And then once they arrive, bidding, like they just don't know how to get to the auction site. And then they get sort of held up. So here I'm mostly trying to get them through check-in. So check-in link is really just they're gonna be confirming their user info. And
Yes.
will they be at check-in, and are they sort of pre-checking in? Are they asked to like click a button that says I'm attending?
Basically, so one thing that happens is when the guest checks in, they receive that welcome message with the link to take them directly to the items page. So
Okay.
that check-in really helps with that process. If someone's like, oh, I
Right.
don't know how to go. Oh, check your text message, the last text message you got from us. Click on the link there and it should bring you. Otherwise, you can send them a quick text message if you want for the welcome link again, if for some reason they don't have it.
Yeah, and that was the
Yeah, but in that same draft message, I would probably include that video on, hey, if this is your first time with us, here's
yeah.
a video on how to bid. And if you want, we can also create it as an item, as an ad, and then have that live within the items page. So if someone's just scrolling through the items, they're able to see the link to that video. I did that in my demo site because I feel like ads can be sometimes underutilized. People think of ads only to promote sponsors, but it could be a way to communicate with your guests as well in a very low key way, right? If someone doesn't feel comfortable, maybe they feel shy about asking how to do it. Maybe they feel silly. So they can actually just watch the little link in the video. So if you want to create an ad, we can do that.
If you create an ad, does it live on the items page?
It can, yeah. It can live on the home page, items page, donate page, or on a display.
Okay. Well, before we navigate into ads, check-in link was the first thing I put in this email. And I can do a link in an email, right? It will actually turn this into
This
a
link will be
hyperlink?
personalized for their account. Yes, it'll hyperlink.
Great.
Yes.
And then the second one is the credit card, where I'm explaining if this is already in there, everything's just going to be easy. So that's just going to take them to basically the same, account area, but it's specifically going to ask them to input a credit card.
Correct. Yes.
Okay. And then I directed them just to our event site if they had any questions. It's just kind of the very basics are there. And I think
Yeah.
I'll continue to do that because it says what the venue and the time. But I might add here the video link if this is your first time.
Yeah. I
at
think
one of
it's
our
great.
events.
As much as you can make them feel comfortable about what to expect, I think the better.
Okay, great. I'll add
Now-
that.
Yeah. Now, if you are, and this is just a personal thing, if I was doing events, if you are allowing people to self-check in, so you're going to send them that link. When they check in, you'll be able to see that little green circle from their My Info tab to see that they've checked in. You could have like a volunteer usher to say, oh, did anyone already check in online? And kind of have it like that Disney Fast Pass where,
Yeah,
and I would probably honestly, because visuals are always cues for people. Oh, okay, great. You should have received a confirmation link. Click on the My Info tab and just hold up the fact that you've already checked in so you can see this green circle and then just let them in the door because you know that the system will capture that they've already been checked in.
Uh-huh.
So it's
a
always
good
nice
idea.
to have what I would call like that usher person down doing that. But I would also probably take like a screenshot of this just so people know where to navigate to. Oh yeah, from your phone, make sure to click on the link when you did your check-in online
Got
and
it.
then navigate to the My Info tab. And I think that's a really
I mean,
easy
that's
way to
super
help.
fast. Or my volunteer can have volunteer access and they can see. Did they see a green check-in next to users? I mean, that takes longer.
It does take longer. So they would, if you remember when I checked in, it would show that I was already checked in. The point is
Yeah.
to alleviate someone having to go in, type their name, look to see if they
Yep.
were checked in, where you could even put in your know before you go, put those screenshots in or put the wording there about, hey, don't forget, like when you're checking in, have that My Info tab up and ready so we can see that you've actually been checked in or something
Mhm.
to that effect, however you want to word it. But I oftentimes find it's helpful to have a volunteer there, just guiding people to know, oh, if you've already checked in online, please take this step. Anyone else that did not yet check in, please come over here to the left to our registration or check-in table.
That's a good
Perfect.
idea.
I love that idea.
Yeah, because I used to manage a 5K when I was working nonprofits, and seeing people wait in line was always such a moment for me. I'm like, I got to split the line. I got to fix it. I got to make it so that people move through faster. So different little things that you think about just to be able to help, I think is useful. Again, it generally depends on how many extra volunteers you have on hand, right? To pull them from one area to be able to help with this. So if you have it, it can be helpful.
I like your
Mhm.
Disney Fast Pass, as you call it.
Yeah.
Been there with the kids. Yes.
The magical
Just
place
got
on
the
earth. I
Recovery
tell
on
you, they
Water
know what they're
Fast
doing.
Pass.
Oh,
Yeah.
yes.
And there's
Yes.
got to be like a rowing term. Maybe that could be like similar to that.
Power
Right,
10.
Yeah, okay, we're gonna do a racing start here.
There you go. Like make it so that it's applicable more for your organization. That'll also
Mhm.
make it more fun too. And then you're just looking for the green circle at this point. Let them in and move on.
Perfect. And then Lynn, in our last few minutes, I'd love to learn a little bit about ads, but maybe I can first show you the text I was sending to try to alleviate our how do I
Yes.
bid question, and then maybe an ad as a better or another way I
Got it.
can do it.
So back in comms, right? All of these pre-scheduled.
Yeah, so of these texts, where is the one?
All right, I like this. We
So I did it
also
twice.
have.
I did it when we opened the auction, it took them to items link.
Yep.
So now I'm excited, I want to bid, and if I press items link, I'm taken to the page, but I really can't take any action if I haven't created an account or
By
put
this
in
point, everyone should have their account because this is only going to go out to people that have.
yeah,
created the
exactly.
account
Like
that are
say we've
signed up.
got, for example, we got a sponsor and they have 8 tickets and I really only have one person fully checked in.
Yeah.
7 people, I just have a name and hopefully a mobile number, and then at least they get this message and they could
Correct.
pursue it. So
For
really
sure.
all they would need to do at that point, because name and number are in there, would be to add a credit card and then they could
Yeah, for sure.
bid.
For sure.
And then I'd
So,
put it in the welcome message as well, because once folks are in the door, that's one of the first things that they see is the silent auction. And they're like, hold on, how do I bid on items?
yeah. Auction now open, place your bids, need not be present to win. Great. And then you have,
These are just texts, right? I missed that. When you got here, it's just the text.
Yeah, these are all text messages.
Okay.
there's this one. I don't know if you need to send this one out on its own.
Well, the reason I did that was, you see the one above? I couldn't put the disclaimer in there. I couldn't fit it with the character limit. So I'm basically just sending a second text right behind it,
Got it.
right? Because those are programmed to go out within a minute of each other.
Yeah, I got what you're saying. So yeah, then that you can, I see. Yep, so then that's totally fine. 11:04 and then 11:05. Yeah, that works.
I just felt like I had a certain amount of information I needed to share about the auction.
Yeah, yeah. So this is good here. Check in ahead of time, check in link. Love that. I love that for a speedy hello at the door. That's great. And then enjoy our downstairs reception. Auction bid here link. We also do have a predefined text message
Yeah.
that will send them their table number.
Wow.
Oh, and will that, do I need to program that?
So you can just include that link here. Oh, it might be in the actual one itself. Not in this link. Hang on a second. Let me get out of this one to see. I forget where it is.
Find your table.
Oh, there it is. Thank you. Totally escaped me up at the top. Yeah, our program is about to begin. Please make your way to your seat. Your table number is. So once you assign them a table, it'll pre-populate. So just FYI, you can probably use this one and schedule that instead of the other one.
And Lynn, when I was creating these texts, I was not getting the pre-populated group and message.
Make sure
And
to
I
click
remember-
apply. So whenever you're selecting a
Oh.
template, you have to click apply so that actually gets put in.
Thank you, because I was like, I know that the system has done this for me, and I sat there and crafted each one myself.
I used to do that all the time when I was a GiveSmart customer. I would constantly forget to apply. I'm like, the system's broken, it's not working, but I
Yeah. All right.
always click
Okay.
apply so it'll pre-populate the template.
So I will add that table number text.
So you can choose to edit the wording so that you can include like the name tag piece, or you can just leave it where you have it. Oh, you know, we're headed up for dinner in 10 minutes. Please find your table, and then leave it with that link. I thought it was included here though. This add link, I guess it doesn't have it. No. So you can only add that specific one from the templates section.
Okay.
I know we ran out of time for ads, so let me just include a quick help article link on that.
Perfect.
That way you can see what we have here. Excellent. Okay, so if you run into any issues, if you can't find what you need in our help articles, don't forget you have use of live chat between now and your event. So the little bubble here and then your site ID right at the top.
Excellent.
That live
I'm
chat
sorry,
is
site
my
ID
friend.
is.
Yeah. Oh, I remember you
There it
saying
is.
that. Yes, it was my BFF as well.
Yes. Just last night, I was asking them a question
I
about
love
a,
it.
you
They're
know,
awesome.
how do I do this? And they were they're open late. They were up there late. So yeah.
Yeah, we have all different
Bethel,
time
working
zones
late?
to accommodate everyone from every area.
Right?
So yes.
Yeah. Yeah. I just wanted all the auction items in there already. That's why. And
Oh.
that's a little tedious. And so, yeah, they're all in there. So, yeah. I have a
Fantastic.
question about reminding people about it's time to go upstairs now and here's your table number. I think you send a text. What if they don't have their phone number then? They just put in their email.
And they'll
Do
get
they-
it via email.
They'll just get an email. Do we need to craft another one of those too? Another communication for that, or is that just something? Because she had an
I would
option.
say at
enough
the time of
folks.
check-in, at the time of check-in, make sure that everyone has an email on file. That's going to be your best bet. If they don't
Yeah.
have it, make sure it's there.
Yeah, okay.
Right. So
Perfect.
excellent. Well, thank you both so much. I will send you the links that I added to our chat and then this recording so that you have it. Have a wonderful, wonderful event, and I hope you exceed your fundraising expectations.
Okay. Thank you, Lynn.
Thanks, Lynn.
All right. You're welcome. Take care.
All right. Yeah. Okay.
Bye.
Bye.